Lesson 24, Members of Congress at Work. Let's begin with their benefits for being a member of Congress. Their salary is $174,000 plus benefits. That income is really not a whole lot of money for a member of Congress. By the way, that is the salary for both a senator and a House member. There is no distinction or no difference in salary between the two chambers. And when I say $174,000, that is a lot of money for the average American. But for members of Congress, many of them could make much more money and have made much more money in private business and private industry. Many, frankly, are millionaires, particularly in the Senate. So a salary of $174,000 is a pay cut for many members of Congress. But they do get free office space. They get staff, trips back and forth to their home states and districts, and a free mailing privilege called franking. What is franking? Franking is the ability to send job-related mail for free. They get a $100,000 budget at taxpayers' expense. The mail must be job-related, not campaign literature. In fact, mail cannot be sent out to constituents more than 90 days before an election. It's got to be job-related. Oftentimes, the mail that members of Congress sends out informs their constituents as to what the member of Congress is doing. Congressman Dave Reichert, serving Washington's 8th District. Strengthening our homeland security, protecting the environment, working to stop domestic violence. The mail oftentimes reflects the priorities of the member of Congress, what he or she is working on. It includes contact information, how you can contact your member of Congress, their Washington phone number, and their offices in their district or in their state. Staffers. Members of Congress have personal staff. They gather information on issues, arrange meetings, write speeches, deal with reporters, handle voter requests. These are paid staffers. The members of Congress do not have to pay their staff salary. That comes with the job. Interns. These are usually college students from the home state, help with research and other office duties. Pages are usually high school students, deliver messages and run errands. And then they get staffers on their committees. We will have a lesson on working in committees and how committees work. That's a very important part of Congress. But their staffers on their committees have expert knowledge about their committee topic. They help draft bills, gather information, organize committee hearings. The Congressional Research Service is available to members of Congress. It helps them look up facts, spells out arguments for and against bills. The GAO is the General Accounting Office, which reviews spending activities of federal agencies, studies programs, recommends ways to spend taxpayers' dollars wisely. The General Accounting Office is a very important resource for members of Congress. And a very important resource is the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office. This is a nonpartisan. All of these are nonpartisan resources. The CBO provides information and analyses to help Congress create a budget, and they also project the costs of programs over many years, the effects of increases or decreases in spending on those programs. Members of Congress at work. First and foremost, members of Congress are legislators. They write laws, introduce bills, work on committees, listen to input for and against bills, and they vote on bills. Members of Congress are legislators, lawmakers. First and foremost. They do casework. Casework is when they assist their constituents when their constituents request help in dealing with the federal government. They troubleshoot for their constituents. They help their constituents when they have issues with the federal government. It's a big part of a member of Congress's job description, so to speak. They represent us in Washington, and they are there to help us when we have problems or issues with the federal government. Casework. And then they protect their interests of their constituents. A constituent is a person who is represented by a representative. We are all constituents, for example, of Richard Burr and Thom Tillis. We are their constituents. They look out for the interests of us and also our state as senators. They work hard to gain a share of the national government spending for their constituents. Oftentimes we refer to these projects as pork barrel projects, also known as earmarks. This is government spending that primarily benefits a member's home district or state. Let's say, for example, David Price from Chapel Hill, the 4th Congressional District, is able to get some spending for a new research facility in Chapel Hill. Federal government money for that new research facility. He's able to tout that as an accomplishment, bringing home the federal dollars back to the state of North Carolina and to his constituents in Chapel Hill. Now each member of Congress is trying to get a piece of the pork, trying to bring home some of that federal money back to their state, back to their district. And we call these projects that benefit primarily a member of Congress's state or district pork, or an earmark. Oftentimes, a congressman's effectiveness is measured by how much pork he or she is able to bring home to his or her district. And to be frank, since all 535 members are trying to do the same thing, 435 House members and 100 senators, this is one reason why the federal budget runs a deficit each year, and why we have a large national debt. Every member of Congress is trying to do the same thing, bring home the pork. And we'll stop here with lesson 25 and pick up with how Congress works at lesson 26.